हेलो स्टूडेंट एंड वेलकम टू माय चैनल नॉलेज ओशन। आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है मेरे चैनल नॉलेज ओशन में। एंड टुडे वी विल स्टडी क्लास 10 हिस्ट्री सेकंड चैप्टर दैट इज़ द नेशनलिज्म इन इंडिया. In the previous chapter, we have studied about the rise of nationalism in Europe, where we came to know about the idea of nationalism, the idea of formation of the nation state, and we have seen how the idea of the nationalism spread all over the Europe. Now, in this chapter, that is the nationalism in India, we will study that how the modern nationalism was associated with the formation of the nation state in India. Like many other colonies of Britishers, that grow of the modern nationalism is connected with the anti-colonial movement. The idea of the nationalism spread over India after the First World War. In the year after 1919, we see that the national movement spreading to the new areas, incorporating new social group and developing new mode of struggle. Now the question arises, how do we understand these development and what are the implementation did they have? These all question we will discuss in this video, and we will know what are the reasons of the nationalism spread all over the India. So as I have told you that the idea of the nationalism spread all over India after the First World War. The First World War between 1914 to 1918 created a new political and economic situation. India faced various problems during the war period. The increase in the defense expenditure, the second, the price increase through the war years. During the war years, the prices were double between the 1913 and 1918, which lead to the extreme hardship for the common people. Peoples were forced to join the army. The villages were called upon to supply the soldiers, and the forced recruitment in the rural area causes a widespread anger. During 1918-19 and during the 1920 and 21, the crop failure in many part of the India lead to the shortage of the food. It was accompanied by the influenza pandemic, which lead to the death of the many people. So people were hoping that their hardship would end after the war was over, but that did not happen. At this stage, a new leader appeared and the struggle a new mode of the struggle. So who was that leader? That leader was the Mahatma Gandhi. So now we will study about the Mahatma Gandhi, how Mahatma Gandhi come to the India and how he started the national movement. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India and he gave the idea of Satyagraha. The Satyagraha is a noble way of fighting the colonial rule in India. It is a non-aggressive, peaceful mass education against the oppression and the injustice of the Britishers. The Satyagraha means the intentions of the truth. It is the moral force, not the passive retention. Mahatma Gandhi returned India in January 1950. As we all know that Mahatma Gandhi has successfully fought the racial discrimination in South Africa. In South Africa, he has made many movement, he has started many movement, and one of that movement was the Satyagraha. The idea of the Satyagraha emphasizes the power of the truth and the need of the search of the truth. It struggled that if the cause was true and if the struggle was against injustice, then the physical force was not necessary to fight with the oppressor. So it was the main idea of the Mahatma Gandhi, that was the non-violence. He wanted that if the cause is truth and our mode of struggle is against the injustice, so there is no need of the oppression, there is no need of the violence. Mahatma Gandhi believed that in the dharma of non-violence could unite all the Indian. Mahatma Gandhi successfully organized Satyagraha movement in various parts of the India. In 1916, he traveled to Champaran in Bihar to inspect the peasant to struggle against the oppressive plantation system. Then in 1970, he organized a satyagraha to support the peasant of the Khera district of Gujarat who was affected by the crop failure and the plague pandemic. In 1918, Mahatma Gandhi went to Ahmedabad to organize the Satyagraha movement among the cotton mill workers. So you can see that the first movement that was launched by the Mahatma Gandhi in India after the arrival from the South Africa was the Satyagraha, and it was very much successful till now, till starting from the 1916 to 1918. Satyagraha is quite successful method to struggle against the Britishers. The success of the Satyagraha in Champaran, Khera and Ahmedabad, Gandhiji now decided in 1919 to launch a nationwide Satyagraha against the opposition of the Rowlatt Act 1990. The Rowlatt Act gave the government an immense power to repress the political activity and allow the detention of the political prisoners trial for 2 years. Mahatma Gandhi wanted the non-violent civil disobedience against such a unjust law, so he started the Rowlatt Satyagraha on 6th April 1990. The rallies were organized in various cities. The workers sent on the strike in the railway workshop. The shop was closed down. The Mahatma Gandhi was banned on entering the Delhi. On 10th April, the police in Amritsar fired upon a peaceful procession and the martial law was imposed and the General Dyer took the command. On 13 April, the famous Jallianwala incident took place. On that day, the large crowd gathered in the enclosed ground of Jallianwala Bagh. Some came here to protest against the government new repressive measure, and others came to attend the annual Baisakhi fair. Being from the outside the cities, many of the villagers were unaware about the laws of the General Dyer. The General Dyer entered the area, blocked the exit point and opened the fire on the crowd, killing thousands of the people. This news of Jallianwala spread all over the India like a fire, and it led the crowd to the street in many North Indian towns. The strikes, the clashes between the police were taken place. The government responds with the brutal repression, seeking to the humiliation and terrified the people. The Satyagrahis were forced to rub their nose on the ground, quarrel on the street and do salam to all the Sahab. The people were flogged and the villages in Punjab was burned. By seeing this type of the violence, the Mahatma Gandhi call of the Satyagraha movement. Mahatma Gandhi now feel the need to launch a more broad-based movement in India. He was certain that no such movement could be organized without bringing the Hindu and Muslim closer together. So he had a talk with a young generation of Muslim leader like the brother Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali began discussing with Mahatma Gandhi about the possibility of the united mass action on the issue. Gandhiji saw this as an opportunity to bring Muslims under the umbrella of unified national movement. At the Calcutta session of Congress in September 1920, he convinced the other leaders of the need to start a non-cooperation movement in support of the Khilafat as well as for the Swaraj. So now the Gandhiji has come together, he has bring together the Hindu and Muslim under one umbrella. Now we will study about the non-cooperation movement. Gandhiji, in his famous book Hind Swaraj 1909, Mahatma Gandhi declared that British rule was established in India with the cooperation of the Indian and had survived only because of this cooperation. If Indian refused to cooperate, the British rule in India would collapse within the year and the Swaraj would come. The Gandhiji proposed that the movement should be unfolded in stages. It should begin with the surrender of titles that the government awarded and a boycott of the civil services, army, of police, court and the legislative council, schools and the foreign good. Then in case the government used the repression, the full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. Through the summer of 1920, Gandhiji and the Shaukat Ali toured extremely mobilizing the popular support for the movement. Finally, at the Congress session at Nagpur in December 1920, the composition was worked out and non-cooperation movement was adopted. The non-cooperation Khilafat movement began in January 1921. Various social groups participated in this movement and this movement led to the many part of the India and it affected the various society of India. So first we will see the movement in the town. The movement started with the middle class participation in the cities. The thousands of the students left the government controlled schools and colleges. The headmasters and the teachers resigned and the lawyers give up their legal practices. The council election were boycotted. The effect of the non-cooperation on the economic front were more dynamic. The foreign goods were boycotted and the liquor shops were banned. But this movement in the cities gradually slowed down for the variety of the reason. The khadi clothes were often more expensive than the mass produced milk clothes and the poor could not afford to buy it. Similarly, the boycott of the British institution posed a problem for the movement to be successful because the alternative Indian institutions were not set up. So now the students and teachers began tackling back to the government schools and the lawyer joined back their work in the government court. From the cities, the non-cooperation movement spread to the countryside. It drew into its fold the struggle of peasants and the travels. In Awadh, the peasants were led by Baba Ramchandra and the movement here was against the talukidars and the landlords who demanded from the peasants the extremely high rent and a variety of such creases. The peasant had to do the beggars and work at the landlord farm. The beggars mean that the farmers or the peasants have to do the work in the landlord field at a free cost. They will not be paid, but they have to do their work at a free cost. By October, the Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ramchand and few others. As the movement spread in 1921, the house of the talukidars and the merchant were attacked, the bazaars were looted and the grain holds were taken over. In many places, the local leader told the peasant that Gandhiji had declared that no taxes were to be paid and the land to be redistributed among the poor. The name of the Mahatma were being evolved to sanction all action and expiration. That means the Mahatma Gandhi has become a national icon at that time, and every small leader is using the name of the Mahatma Gandhi to highlighting its movement. The tribal peasant interrupted the message of the Mahatma Gandhi and the idea of Swaraj in yet another way. In the Gudam hills of Andhra Pradesh, the militant guerrilla movement spread the idea in the earlier 1920, not a form of struggle that Congress could approve. It was in violence approach towards the tribal people. The tribal people were doing the violence, they are doing the guerrilla warfare, they are attacking the Britishers, and the leader of there was the Sita Ram Raju. The Aruri Sita Ram Raju was the leader of the tribal people, and he was very much inspired by the Mahatma Gandhi, but he was not following the idea of non-violence. In place of it, he was doing the guerrilla warfare where they are hiding themselves and suddenly they are attacking to the Britishers. The Raju was captured and executed in 1924, and over that time he became a folk hero. Now we will study the Swaraj in the plantation, how the plantation workers or the laborers or the farmers have taken the idea of the non-cooperation of Mahatma Gandhi. For the plantation workers in Assam, the freedom means that the right to move freely in and out of the confined space in which they were enclosed, and it means retaining a link with the village from which they have come. Under the England Immigration Act 1859, the plantation workers were not permitted to leave the tea garden without the permission. In fact, they were rarely given the permission. The vision of these movements were not defined by the Congress program. As I have told you, that everywhere the movement was taken place, and every single movement, the people, the workers, the farmers, the laborers are using the name of Mahatma Gandhi to link their movement in a large scale. And these movements which were happening in the different part of the India, we have seen Andhra Pradesh, there was a movement of non-cooperation, but they were not following the idea of the non-violence. They were doing the violence, they are doing the guerrilla warfare where they were attacking the Britishers. So these movements were not defined by the Congress. The Congress was very much against, because they don't know that how many peoples are doing the movements, and they indirectly they are using the name of Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress. When the tribal chanted the Mahatma Gandhi name and raised the slogan demanding the Swatantra Bharat, they were also emotionally related to all Indian allegation. When they acted in the name of the Mahatma Gandhi or linked their movement to that of the Congress, they were identified with the movement which went beyond the limit of their immediate locality. So now they have given a proper stage. The local matter has been raised in a national matter. So that's why these workers, these peasants are using the name of Mahatma Gandhi. They are supporting the Mahatma Gandhi, and they are highlighting their problems, their struggle in a national platform. So in this way, my first video is getting over. So in this video we have studied how the nationalism came in India, who was the hero of the nationalism, how Mahatma Gandhi started the various movement, and in my next video we will see why Mahatma Gandhi took back the national movement, took back the non-cooperation movement, and how the other movements started in India. Till then, you have to like this video, subscribe my channel, and please do share and do comment. Thank you. Jai Hind. Keep smiling.